Hey ladies, okay, so welcome back to the channel. Right now this is going to be my 14-week going into my 15th week of pregnancy. Right now I am 14 weeks and 6 days. Tomorrow I will be 15 weeks, which means that I have actually completed 15 weeks of pregnancy. But I am going to do just a quick symptom overview, and then I am going to give you guys a bump shot. I am starting to feel a little bit better. Hence the phase, and my hair and stuff is actually done today. But let's see, I'm just going to jump right into it. The symptoms and stuff that I've been having, not so much so bad. Only thing that I can say that I've had this 14-week going into 15-week of pregnancy is I've had migraines, and I've had round ligament pains really. Like, I know that they say that some cramping is normal due to, your uterus and stuff growing, but I've had, like, period-like cramping, which was yesterday, which was strange. And then I'm in fear, I'm not sure quite what it is, because my 14 weeks, 13 weeks and 5 days, right before I turned 14 weeks, right before I turned 14 weeks, I actually woke up and was bleeding last week. Went to the ER again, and everything seemed to be fine with the baby, and they had really no clue outside of possibly that I had a slight bladder infection, which could have been the cause of the bleeding. But other than that, no real explanation as to what the bleeding was. It did last for about, the bleeding lasted just for that day. By the time I went to the ER, it was just like when I wiped, and then it went from that to like just only when I wiped, very scant, light pink, and then for the next 2 or 3 days, it was just like brown blood when I wiped. So I was took solace in that, and a little bit of the fact that it was brown, which means that it was old blood and that I was no longer actively bleeding. So all went well with that. Outside of that, like I said, the only thing that I had was migraine. Crazy thing about it is that the migraines have came and ruining my life. And so with the migraines, it's actually weird because I was a really big coffee drinker prior to finding out that I'm pregnant. I have been doing very well. Like, even now, like, I'm a Starbucks junkie, and I am now replacing my Starbucks coffee with more so of hot chocolate instead of the coffee drinks. And then when I do, I'll have a decaf coffee. But I've come to find out that when I do have the migraines, if I have a coffee, like a Frappuccino, then it actually stops my headache, which is weird. And I know that I'm not supposed to have that much coffee, but it does, in fact, cure the migraines for me. I do not take medicine. I do not believe in medication like that. I'm not going to take Tylenol, which I know is okay during pregnancy, but I'm just not going to take it. But a cup of coffee will get rid of the migraines, surprisingly. I know some people tell me, the old wives tell us to chew on raw ginger, but I'm not doing that because that's just nasty. So pretty much I think that that's it. So let's see, week 14, outside of the migraines that I've been having, the round ligament pains that I've been having, I'm not so much out of breath as I'm sure that I will become as I progress, but I have had, the excessive saliva has kind of gone away. Oh, insomnia. Yes. So the insomnia has been kicking my butt, but fortunately for me, the insomnia it's short-lived. Like, it'll be 9, 10 o'clock, and I know that I need to go to sleep, but I will be wide awake. But then at 11:30 or 12 o'clock, boom, it's out like a light, and I'll doze off before I even realize that I've fallen asleep. So I have been able to get some sound sleep. My sleep has not been that great since being pregnant because I do have a weird schedule from the way that I work till the time that I have to get up to get my daughter ready for school. So I'm squeezing in a couple of hours of sleep and normally trying to come home and get another couple of hours before I head off to work. So it's broken up and choppy, and I know they say that I'm supposed to have a full 8 hours, but just with my schedule, it's just not possible. Some things that I am looking forward to. Today is the 26th, which means in about 12 days I do have another appointment with my doctor, and I will be 16, almost 17 weeks, I believe. Well, let's see, if I'm 15 weeks tomorrow, so then in 11 days or so, I'll be almost 16 weeks, or 17, almost 17 weeks. So like 16 weeks and 5 days, so almost pretty much 17 weeks, which is about the time when they will do the scan. I'll be getting my NT results on that day as well, and they'll probably do a gender scan. Right now we are Team Green, to where we are not wanting to know the gender of the baby. I'm thinking maybe I'll have her seal the gender in an envelope if, in fact, they are able to tell on that day. Seal it in an envelope just in case after my 17-week scan I do not get another one, and then for some reason in between there and delivering the baby I do wish to find out what I'm having, because it is kind of difficult trying to prepare for a baby when you do not know the gender. Speaking of which, of preparing for a baby when you do not know the gender on a budget, I do plan on minimizing my purchases for this baby, particularly like I know that I do want a crib, and I'm going to get the crib, but some of the bigger items will be like a crib, the stroller set. Not quite sure if I'm going to pack and play, maybe some kind of portable bassinet. I did initially want one of the halo things, but I don't think that I'm actually going to get that. I may just get one of the little co-sleepers that go inside of the bed, in between the parents, because I think that would be better, and then once the baby's in the crib I can still put that entire thing inside the crib. So I think I'll probably get one of those instead of the halo sleeper. Maybe a swing, but that's up in the air. So those are just the bigger purchase items that I do plan on purchasing. So I am trying to prepare for that now, because I do want to have my crib somewhere between my 6th and 7th month, somewhere between 5.5 and 6.5 months. I don't want to wait to the last minute to get the crib, because I'm going to use it for storage until I get the organization going for the baby. I have had some hints as to what the baby is, as I mentioned in some of my earlier videos, and like at my 12-week and 5-day scan, I mentioned that I did get an idea when I took the NT test, had an idea as to what the baby was. I thought that I saw a little Peter Reader, but I know at that time it's still kind of hard. But as I mentioned before, my nub theory, the Chinese calendar, as well as the skull theory, is all pointing to a boy. And the funny thing about that is that actually the ultrasound technician at the time that was doing my NT test asked me, well, do you want to know the gender? And I explained to her that no. I sound like Medea, the gender. But no, I explained to her, no, I didn't want to know the gender of the baby, but she did give me some ultrasounds, which I showed you in the previous videos, that looks like the baby has a little woo-woo-woo-woo. So I'm hoping that it's a boy, and I'm actually getting excited in that fact. I have started purchasing items. I would like to further stock up on my items, but until I don't know what to do, because I don't know the gender of the baby, so I don't want to buy one specific gender and then not the other. I have been purchasing clothes, but I've been keeping the receipts so that I can return some things. But then I did myself one better. I actually had started a registry at Target and one at Babies R Us, which is everywhere. But where my family actually lives, one of the stores that everyone can get to is Burlington. So I did drive out to Ontario from LA and go to the Burlington Co-Factory in Ontario Mills and start a registry there. And then the good thing about that is that I just found a ton. I remember with my first daughters, I loved Burlington because they just had the cutest little things, and they were very reasonably priced. And so I ended up going into Burlington that day to do the registry and just found these cutest little boy clothes. So when I got to the front to actually pay for the items, I remembered that Burlington has a layaway program. So I actually put some items on layaway. They're little boy outfits. I put some items on layaway, and I'll attach the pictures in this video. But after I realized they had layaway, I had initially had a whole bunch of items, and then after I made up my mind, like, okay, I'm only going to buy just so many. I think it was like 5. I was like, I think I'm only going to buy these 5 and only spend about $50, stay within a budget of about $50. So I ended up putting a lot of them back, and then got to the front and realized they had layaways, and I felt like, oh, I feel like crap because I'm only putting like 5 things on layaway and some socks, and I wish that I had put all the original items that I had found on that layaway. But I was like, it's perfectly fine. Like, I can always go back and either add to the layaway or, just start another layaway. But I do have some little boy items that I do want to pick out. I did buy a little girl's outfit in the meantime, so once I do go and pick those items up off of layaway, which I plan on doing this week, I'll just do a video with all of the stuff. I bought a coming home outfit for a baby girl. just in case, because I would hate to get to the hospital and then it turns out to be a girl and we have nothing to bring her home in but a little boy's outfit. But I am definitely leaning towards little boy. I do enjoy the layaway program. I do enjoy the fact that there are return programs, at least credit for these items that I can get back for them if I need to swap them out. Um, pretty much pretty much that's it. So just quick specs really quick as to what's going on. It just says that at pretty much 15 weeks, my baby is about 3.5 to 4 inches long. It's the size of a large lemon. Large lemon, balled up fist. Weighs 2 ounces. It's doubled its weight since last month. Its skin is still transparent, but it did gain some weight. Of course, obviously, like I said, it doubled its ounces, so it's about 2 ounces, which weighs the same amount as an egg, a chicken egg. So if you would hold an egg, that's how much the baby weighs at this point. And those are pretty much the specs. As far as myself and how much weight I have gained, I want to say that right now I am at about 160, 164, and I started at about 156, 157. So I've gained about 5 or 6 pounds already, which is normal considering that I'm, like I said, in my second trimester. Oh, and another symptom, my boobs. My boobs have been killing me. So I understand that they are in the process of growing. My nipples are extremely dark, but my boobs have been aching. Those are the one things that are causing me pains right now. So super tender boobs, and pretty much that's it. So I'm going to show you guys my little picture, and then I'll do my belly shot. So this is where I am, my little chalkboard that I'm using to update. It just says 15 weeks, 3.5 inches, 2 ounces, and a large lemon. And that's just it. And it's so funny today because when I got dressed this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, I look like a Monster High doll. Because if any of you are familiar with what Monster Highs look like, or if your daughters or your nieces play with Monster Highs, you understand that they're long and tall and lean, and then right down at the bottom by their belly, it's like a little pooch, and it just looks so funny. So the way today when I was getting dressed and I pulled my pants on, I was like, I look like a Monster High doll. It's so crazy. And I was like, I'm carrying low so far. But again, I'll show you guys the picture and let you guys be the judge of that. So I'm going to do my belly shot now. Okay, so here I go, standing up, belly shot with my clothes on. Let's see what's a better way to get this so that we can see it. Okay, so here this is. So you can see there. So my clothes on and from the front. And this is just my little top. I wear these because I can't button my pants, but if you can see, that is the belly. And this is my little low 15-week belly. And it's sitting like right down into where my pants would button. And obviously, see if I lean forward, you can see how it's just a little roundy right here. And my belly button is already starting to pop out. See that? So that's so funny to me. Like, I actually look like there's an actual bump there starting to grow. So there is the baby bump from this side. Ta-da! So that's all. There's my bump. And this is why I said I look like a Monster High, see? And